Hi everyone, Simon here with a review of Active Neurons 2. Active Neurons 2 is a spatial puzzle game that's available for PC, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4, which is the version you see on your screens. I was a big fan of the original Active Neurons, aside from its very lax difficulty curve, lack of an undo button, and just being a bit drab visually. So colour me polished when I found that Active Neurons 2 practically improves in every single area and adds much more challenge and variety to its puzzles as you play through the game. This is a sequel that is improved in every single way over its predecessor, and I'm really delighted to see that. For those of you who are coming straight out of the bat though, you play as a white block that will move continuously in a direction that you push it, up, down, left or right. And using a D-pad is probably actually the easiest way to do this when you're playing with a controller to stop fat fingers. The game is got about 120 levels across 12 different areas, and the idea is that each area adds in a new game mechanic that you then have to wrestle with among all of the other things that have already come before you. So firstly, it will just be sliding around walls, trying to get to the edge of a maze to therefore get to the end of the area and complete the level. Then you'll have red blocks that will come in that act as negative thoughts, and if you touch them it's game over, you have to restart the level again. Then you'll have like green ones that are like stops that you can push or explode onto, or blue ones that are pushable, rather than the green ones. Then you've got purple transporters that will move you around, and then some new ones for this time starts to have symbol-based keys, colour-based keys, timed locks on doors, also like repeaters of blocks that will kind of keep on turning right whenever they hit a wall, so you have to kind of line things up so that they move into places to like clear spaces or kill themselves or open timers and stuff like that. The game starts off very similar to its predecessor for the first, I would say, 30 to 40 levels in the game, and it feels very like, oh, we're doing the same thing again. And then after it's kind of established all of the rules that it done in Active Neurons 1, it's like, haha, now it's time for the juicer stuff. And then it goes a little bit up in the difficulty scale. And what I would say is that as I got to rounds like the 10th, 11th and 12th set of this game, I was struggling mentally to work my way around some of this stuff. So much more of a challenge, much more planning required, as well as timing as well, because sometimes you've got to try and think ahead of where is something going to end up when I either push it, or if I'm going to block something, where is this going to repeater block go elsewhere. The other thing that I found quite interesting with this is that levels are no longer just a single screen. They're now sometimes multiple screens. So you might have to kind of work out how to clear one screen to then move to the next to kind of solve the next bit and then maybe even come back again. So levels are longer and more expansive. That does, however, bring me still to the one bad side that I have of this series so far, and that is the lack of an undo button. I don't mind if I run into something and I kill myself, but if I accidentally press the wrong direction, or if I double tap one direction when I don't mean to, and I push a block that I didn't mean to somewhere, I'd dearly love an undo button so that I could then just kind of re-continue from there. Because now that levels are multiple screens long sometimes, that's a good 5 minutes where, especially I'm a bit I'm a bit planner happy. This is probably me from project management at work. I'm sitting there like noting down my arrow choices for the directions that I've moved in on my paper. So I'm like, that's my quickest way to try and then get around to avoid losing even more time to remember what I'd done to get to where I was before I then accidentally killed myself. I just wished an undo button would stop that from needing to be done. Outside of that, shout out to the soundtrack, which is Ultimate Chill Out. Now that's what I call chill, volume 1 million. But also I really like the change that they've done to improve the graphics on this as well. It's got that kind of neon party vibe to it. And just lots of little simple effects, like when something explodes now there's like a particle effect that kind of spurs out onto the screen, and there's some nice dynamic lighting that goes on, and it just feels a little bit more celestial and warm and homely. And that's great because you're going to be spending more time trying to get through these levels and get to the end of them, because it's a much more trickier game this time around. So everything is far better this time around with Active Neurons 2, and I give it a hearty thumbs up. Great puzzle game, highly recommended. Go check it out if you fancy a good challenge on those last 30 odd levels, because they will melt your brain. Bye for now. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.